Okay, good morning to everyone. Good afternoon to those that are joining from India and Asia Pacific. Okay, let's start with the webinar of today's webinar, which is all the video analytics solutions that we have for the critical infrastructures. Okay, first of all, I would like to say that this webinar is being recorded. Okay. And then the webinar will be forward to all those that join the webinar, also the presentation. Okay, but just to let you know. Okay. Okay. So first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Alvaro. I'm responsible for international sales and also the CEO of the company. Okay. And then I'm gonna do the presentation for you today. Okay. I would like to do, first of all, a brief introduction of our company. Okay, Recom Technologies is a company that is specialized on developing and marketing video analytics, and we are very specialized on thermal imaging. That is our core business. Okay, although we also have different solutions for the optical spectrum cameras, but I will say that 85% of all the solutions that we develop are for thermal imaging cameras. Right now we have over 30 different analytics developed, which covers different areas that I will explain on. We currently export to 64 countries worldwide. And I think one of the most positive or one of the key advantages that our company has is that we cover the full chain of value of the company. That means that we have our own R&D department, which is responsible for developing all the analytics that we sell. Also, we have a department, an integration department, which is responsible for integrating our solutions with existing VMSs, with existing cameras, or digital input and output models, and so on. Okay. And then also what we do is, whenever we sell our licenses, we are not just a reseller, let's call it. We do the setup, configuration, fine tuning. So until the solution is not working as the client is expecting, we will not stop working on the solution. Okay. And then also what we do is we have the pre-sales and after sales department and the project management or maintenance department, which is responsible for supervising all those projects and making sure that the solutions are working as expected. Okay, these are the 9 different lines of analytics that we can offer right at the moment. So we have solutions for perimeter surveillance. We have solutions for safety, marine surveillance, traffic, fire prevention and detection, healthcare, automation, face recognition, and forensic. Okay, these are all the different lines of analytics that right now we can offer to our clients. Okay, what is the critical infrastructures? Okay, as most of you guys already know, but I just want to do a brief resume of what is considered a critical infrastructure. Okay, all those transport terminals like airports, train stations, ship ports, like bus, and everything that has to do with transportation.
What is going on here this morning?
Well, let me just. Okay, everything that is related to the food industry, logistics, distribution, and then also retail places is also considered a critical infrastructure. Nuclear, all the energy sites like substations, energy generators, and so on, government buildings, water supplies, space, finance, R&D, chemical industry, healthcare, and telecommunications. This is the 12 areas that are considered, and of course, military also will be considered as a critical infrastructure, but these are the main ones. Okay, so what we did is we divided the presentation in 2 areas. One is going to be solutions related to security purposes. Okay, and the second section or the second area will be solutions that are orientated into safety. Okay, so we're gonna start first of all with the security solutions. Okay, and we're gonna start with the perimeter surveillance solution. Okay, and then today we're gonna introduce you the one of this is the latest solution that we just developed and launched this year, which is the perimeter lockout. We have multiple perimeter solutions. Some of them go with thermals, some of them go with optical spectrum cameras. Okay, but the perimeter lockout is the latest solution and it has artificial intelligence on it. So that means that allow us to auto-classify all the objects that we are detecting, discriminate, like, I mean, from animals, vegetation, light changes, shadows, and raindrops. Okay. So auto-classifies person and vehicles, has multiple detection rules like intrusion, line crossing, prowling, and abandoned object. Is compatible with all the IP cameras and also is integrated right now with Milestone CTEC, and there is a Genetec and Axis Camera Station, Pelco, Avigilon, Cathesix, Chameleon, Latitude, and EDIS, which are the VMSs that are integrated with the rest of our solutions, will also be included here. Okay. Also, we have solutions which doesn't have artificial intelligence, and then the key advantage of the perimeter lockout is that it's very accurate. We can guarantee over 98% of accuracy. Okay. Meanwhile, with the other solutions that doesn't bring artificial intelligence, maybe this is not so accurate. However, the detection range is much farther away. So it depends on the type of project. Sometimes the type of project requires to cover a very large perimeter with the less number of cameras possible. So we can go with, for example, with our solution Sentinel. Sometimes it's very critical infrastructure and the solution has to be very accurate. So people rather go with the perimeter lockout. So it depends on the type of facility or project that we're going to be involved. You have to choose between one or the other. Right now, I'm just gonna put a video here showing how the perimeter lockout works out. You can see that they discriminate animals, auto-classify vehicles and persons, doesn't have any reflections by water drops and so on. Okay, so I'm gonna just run this video for you guys. Okay, so this is was just a brief video showing how the perimeter lockout works. Now I'm gonna put you a different video. This goes with thermal imaging. Okay, for example, this is a border. Okay, and then let me explain you here. You have like 4 cameras working simultaneously. The 2 cameras on the left side, I mean, as you can see, the contrast is very low and still the solution is detecting. On the one on the middle, you will see that the camera is very shaky and still is not generating false alarms by the movement of the camera. On the one on the right side, it is a very long detection range, is something between 400 450 meters. Okay, with very low contrast and still the solution it can detect. As you will see, I mean, there is it's a very fast moving, just to make the video a little bit shorter. The good thing with the thermal imaging is that the detection range can go very far away compared to the optical spectrum, of course. Okay, and still, I mean, as you can see, the numbers that are besides the overlay, it shows the percentage of accuracy. That means if it shows 99%, that means that is 99% sure that is a human detection. Okay. Okay, another solution that we have for critical infrastructures, this is the Coast Guard. Okay, this solution is for large and small vessel detection. Okay, and it also detects floating objects. So it can apply to ports, to offshore platforms, to rivers, to dams. Everything that has a water scenario will be the right place, or it will be the right scenario to install this solution. Okay. So what are the key advantages? Okay, first of all, it's a very large detection. The minimum target size is 2 pixels, so that means that we can detect very far away with any camera. Okay, has a very low false alarm rate. Okay, we don't generate false alarms by the waves or by the reflections. Okay, it is for this type of scenarios, we always recommend to use thermal imaging cameras. Don't use optical spectrum cameras, because I mean the reflections and the movement of the waves will trigger alarms. Meanwhile, with the thermal imaging, we can absorb, okay, and then we can give a much more accurate solution. Okay. Okay, it also has an alarm UTM and GPS positioning, so that means that whenever we are detecting something, we can position on a map, and then also what we can do is we can integrate the solution with existing radar solutions, so we can also position those vessels or those objects that we are detecting on the map. Okay, and then is integrated with all the main VMSs in the market: Milestone, Genetec, Vigilon, Pelco, Latitude, Chameleon, Axis Camera Station, Cathesics, EDIS. So pretty much all the main VMSs available on the market is this solution is integrated with. Okay, here we're gonna show you a video. Okay, so here you can see that this is a very small object that is people that are doing paddle surf. Okay, as you can see here, the buoys, I mean, are not detected. Okay, so you can also set up the maximum and the minimum target size. So and then also whenever there is a fixed object, like for example this here, these objects here, also what the system can do is, if there is no movement at all, what we do is we absorb it, or we generate, we create part of the background. Okay, and as you can see, there is different colors. Okay, so depending on what you're detecting, what you can do is you can set up a different profile. So for example, whenever we see that is like a movement object, we say we can paint it on blue, and then whenever we see something floating, like for example a person, we can put it on a red. So you can have like a different alarm profiles, and then also what you can do is you can you can set up different setups for that. Okay. Okay, another solution that is right now is very demanded is also the face recognition. Okay, so this applies to all the access control to buildings or facilities, passport control, and then also it can be used for forensic purposes. Okay, the solution that we have, I mean, we can guarantee a 99.87% of accuracy. Okay, this is not something that we say. This has been certified by the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the US. The solution follows all the privacy laws and regulations especially, for example, in the US, the AAS 256, okay? And then HTTPS also is in transit. So we follow all the privacy regulations, okay? The speed of detection is very fast, it's less than 100 milliseconds, okay? And then the solution can work on premise, it can work on the cloud, or it can work on a hybrid, okay? And then one of the key advantages that it has is that the processing requirements are about 20% lower than most of our competitors, okay? So that brings, I mean, right nowadays that there is a big difficulties bringing graphic cards and computing components. This might be a key advantage, okay? So what can we do with the face recognition? Okay, what we can do is we can have mask detection, okay, and we can also detect and generate alarms with social distancing, okay. We can do audience management, so we can see how many people is inside one premise and then allow more people to come in or to block the access to that area. Also, we can detect suspect detection, we can generate a blacklist, and then whenever someone matches with any of the faces included on that blacklist will be automatically detected and trigger an alarm, okay? We can have a directional analysis. This is a contactless access control solution, okay? And then we can also have multi-factor authentication, okay? That means that, for example, imagine in a hospital that now the people are wearing like emergency equipment, so you barely can see the face. So also what we can do is we can do identification with the QR, okay? The accuracy level with the mask, we can guarantee up to 98%, okay? Always as long as they are not wearing like sunglasses, always as long as we can see the glasses and the ears. I mean, that will be, we can guarantee a 98%, okay? So this will be pretty much all the solutions, and then also we can do demographics analytics. We can generate dashboards where specify the gender, the age, and the facial expression. We can also do heat maps. We can manage queues and figure out the dwell time of one person inside one premise, okay? So this is pretty much right here. We can give you a video, okay? And this is to show you how difficult it is to pull out the solution. Okay, we have this anti-spoofing solution that brings that you cannot fool the system. You cannot fool the system with the pictures or with videos. Okay. As for I think there is Rajesh asking for one question. This is he was asking if this solution is ours. No, this solution is developed by Safer, which is a company from the US, comes from Real Networks. Okay. The rest of the solutions so far is ours. This face recognition is not ours. As you saw, whenever it detects a real face, automatically you have like a green heart on top of the head. That means that the system has identified that person as a real image. Okay. And then also you see here when it came out with the picture, you see like a red heart. So that means that it is not a real image. Okay, so the system will not allow the access to that person. Okay, now we're gonna introduce you the VMS. Okay, as you know, most of the VMSs that are available on the market, what they do is they record and that's pretty much everything. They have like a database of all the events that the system is generating, and then you have like the recordings, so you can access to all the events that the system is generating. Or in order, whenever you have to do a search, you have to go through most of the recordings, and it's very cost effective. Time cost-effective solution. Okay, what we're bringing here is this is a different VMS. Okay, has artificial intelligence, has deep learning on it, so that gives us some key advantages on it. Okay, the first key advantage will be that you can do a smart search. That means, for example, imagine that you have this VMS installed in one airport. Okay, and then you have to look for one suspicious person. What you can do is you can just like upload the face of that person and then ask the system to search through all the cameras on the airport for that face. Okay, so instead of going camera by camera and searching for that face, the system is going to do it for you. Also, you can do it with face, you can do it with gender, you can do it with by the color of the shirt, you can do it with if he's wearing long jeans or shorts, or if he's wearing a long sleeve, shirt sleeve or short sleeve. Okay, so you have multiple filters that you can do a smart search for it. Okay, and then automatically the system will bring all the results of that search criteria that you have uploaded into the system, will bring it up immediately, just in about seconds. Okay, so the searching for forensic purposes will be much easier. Okay, then you have the smart presence tool. Okay, so that means that the system, if there is no movement, okay, instead of recording on full stream or high resolution, what it does is lowers the resolution, so the recording, it requires less space. Okay, and then whenever the system detects any movement, automatically will rise up again to the high resolution. Okay, then you have like a video view with a spotlight. That means that whenever you have one video, then you have like a kind of like a timeline tool that you can move the video in a very fast move or very slow. Okay, and then you can also have the occupancy counting. So for example, imagine that you're in a cafeteria and the maximum audience is about 100 people. So the system is automatically counting how many people comes in, how many people comes out. And in case that you reach the limit, it will not allow anyone to come in. So also can be integrated with access control devices. Okay. Also, we can do heat maps. So we can do is we can see how the people are moving inside the premise, where they stay more time, where are they moving, where are the areas that there are more affluence of people. Okay. And then the configuration is very simple. Here I'm gonna show you the architecture. We have two ways. You can go with our own cameras. Okay. These cameras, the key difference is that they have the artificial intelligence analytics, and also the recording is inside the camera. So whenever you are connected to the cloud, you are not sending the full stream of the video through the internet. Okay, so everything is being recorded locally, and then you can access to the recording or in real time to the camera through the cloud. Okay, so the good thing about these cameras is that you can have like 30 days, 60 day, 90 day, even 120-day recording on it. Okay. So also, in case that you have already the cameras installed, you can also use this VMS. Okay, the only difference is instead of going directly to the cloud, you will need to install a cloud connector, which is where the analytics and also the recording hard disk are being installed. And that connector will be connected directly to the cloud. And in order to access to the cloud, you can access through any mobile device, tablet, smartphone, or computer or laptop. Okay. And then also you have APIs and SDK in case that you guys want to integrate it with an existing security system or access control and so on. Okay. Here I'm going to show you a video on how the Smart Search tool works. Okay.
Welcome to AvoWare. Today we're going to cover search. Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our AvoWare cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So, for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot. It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting. And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Okay, so this will be all the security, all the solutions that we have for security purposes. Okay, will it record the thief inside the retail store? Yes, of course. I mean, the cameras are recording 24/7. Okay, but the key advantage, or the key advantage that this solution has is that you can do a smart search. That means, I mean, you can set up search criteria and then look through all the recording of all the cameras that you want, and then automatically the system will be searching for that object that you're looking for. Okay, but I mean, all this is recorded, and then whenever you see the video, automatically the system just gives you a clip of that exact detection, okay, which is matching whatever you put on the smart search tool. Okay, and then once you have that clip, you can either do two things. You can share it, or you can just like send a link, so people, in order to view it, has to access to the system. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna go to all the we're gonna go to the solutions that we have for the safety purposes. Okay. Okay, the first solution that we're gonna be working today with is the temp threshold. Temp threshold is a solution. What it does is analyzes the scenario and detects any temperature thresholds of any objects showing on the field of view of the camera. Okay, so this applies to I don't know, like for example, biomass plant, dump plants. I mean, chemical, oil and gas facilities. I mean, everything that has like a warehouse or flammable products. Okay, this can be used on this purpose. So basically, what we do is we generate a background. Okay, and then what we do is we set up like once we generate the background, we know exactly the temperature of every pixel of the camera. Okay, and then you set up the system and say, okay, if any of the objects on the field of view of the camera exceed X amount of degrees, okay, I want you to trigger an alarm. Okay, but also what you can do is you can analyze the behavior. So for instance, imagine that I will show you here an example. For example, imagine that you have a warehouse where there is a lot of machinery moving around. Okay, a fire is steady, is in a fixed point, and then increases on intensity and on size, but always on the same point. Okay. Meanwhile, the machinery is moving around, is an emerging object, so the behaviors are totally different. Okay. So here, what we do is, besides analyzing the temperature, also what we do is we analyze the behavior of the objects. And then based on that, what we can do is we can guarantee pretty much almost 100% accuracy with this solution. I will say 99%, okay, because perfect is nothing, but I mean, it's very, very, very accurate solution. What are the key advantages of this? Okay, you have multiple detection profiles running simultaneously. As I say, you can have like temperature thresholds, behavior, line crossing, and so on. Okay. Then it has a critical real-time reporting and logging. So that means that in real time, I mean, it's sending you all the events and then it's giving you temperature. It's available for fixed and PTC cameras. Okay. So this is, for example, for the, I don't know, imagine that there is a substation and then you need to monitor multiple electrical components on the transformers and switches and so on. So what you can do is, instead of like just having one camera fixed, I mean, what you can do is you can have on a PTC, and then with one camera you can monitor multiple areas. Okay. It generates a summary event report, so it's exportable in XML, Excel, and PDF formats. Okay. Also has the heat emission and distance configuration. This is very important. Let me explain you why. I mean, objects, the heat dissipates with the space. Okay, so it's not the same to analyze or to try to retrieve the temperature of one object that is 5 meters away from the camera than is 50 meters away from the camera. The farther you are from the camera, the less temperature the camera is to retrieve or to read. Okay, so we have like a configuration tool that, based on the distance the object is, what we can do is we can adjust the temperature, and then we can figure it out and we can be very accurate on the reading. Okay. You have image adjustments, so you can, depending on the temperature threshold that you want to analyze, you can adjust the image in a way that all the objects that are below that temperature or above you will not see it. I mean, it will be either very light or very dark, so you will not see it. You just will see the objects that are on the temperature threshold that you have to set up the system for. Okay. Okay, you have like the mask detection, the mask design editor. Okay. And then also you have the temperature color palette. Okay. You have the Boolean logic functions, so that means that in order before you trigger the alarm, you can have multi-rule detection. So in a way that you need to have like a rule correlation in order to trigger the alarm. Okay, so that gives us a very high accuracy. It is integrated with all the main VMSs on the market, as I said before, and also it can be connected to digital and input and output models to activate alarms, sprinklers, emergency doors, ventilators, and so on. Okay, here I'm gonna show you a video. This is, for example, paper manufacturing. Okay, and this is with a PTC camera. Okay, right now this is in this area. There is no fire, and here there is a fire. Automatically, okay, you will see that is detected. Okay. Here I'm gonna put you a video. This is, for example, a biomass plant. As you can see, here is the machinery. Out here on the upper corner, you see the maximum and the minimum temperature of all the objects that are on the field of view of the camera. This is also a PTC camera, so you can see here it shows the PTC, the preset number. And as you can see here, we are not triggering any alarms because any of the objects that we are viewing is on the temperature threshold setup. Okay, and here we're going to show you another solution, which is the flame monitoring. This is especially for the oil and gas industry. So basically here what we're doing is we're analyzing the flame and the flare. Okay, so guarantee that is working correctly. Okay. Also what we do is we analyze the flame size and intensity. Okay. So with this measurement, we can guarantee that all the gases that the facility is emitting to the atmosphere are being incinerated or burned out. Okay, and then you have the flame and the flare status monitoring. So if the flame is on, we say there is ignition. Okay, and then in case that there is no flame but there is gas emitting into the atmosphere, that is the venting. Okay, and then whenever there is no flame and there is no gas, there is whenever there is flame, sorry, there is a extinction. Okay, you have a video wall with multiple cameras on. You can analyze multiple cameras simultaneously, and also you can see the flare status. Okay, then you have like a configuration tool. Okay, this solution can work embedded into Axis cameras, or you can work on server base. Okay, in case that is embedded, you can do all these functions or functionalities. You can do it in the camera interface. Okay, has a centralized server for alarm monitoring. Okay, and then you have the dashboard with the reports where you can filter by date, by status, or by camera, and it's exportable to PDF, XML, or Excel. And it also has access. You can access the interface through any system that is connected to the network. Okay, here I'm going to show you a video how this solution works. This is the embedded version, okay, and this is embedded into an Axis camera. Also, one very key advantage about this solution is that you can work very far away from the distance. This camera is right now is about close to 500 meters away from the camera. So that means that you're outside the explosive or non-explosive area. So that is very cost effective because you don't have to use non-explosive housing or non-explosive cabling. Okay, so that makes the solution very cost effective. Okay, this is the reporting area where you can see, you can choose by camera, by dates, and by status. Now we're going to show you another solution, which is the transformer monitor. This is a solution that we use for any substation, okay, or any just transformers that is on any facilities. Basically, here what we do is we are monitoring all the components, and then whenever we see that any of these components exceed one temperature, automatically we just trigger the alarm. Okay. The same as before, we can work with fixed or PTC cameras, okay? Then you have the simultaneous radiation and distance configuration, okay? And then you have simultaneous temperature and behavior analysis, okay? The good thing about this solution is also can work embedded or server-based, okay? And the good thing about it is that you are constantly monitoring all the components, and then all that information is being recorded on a database. So on the dashboard, you can have graphics, and so you can see what is the evolution or how is evolving any of those components. And the last solution that we have, is it possible to get the slides and recording? Yes, of course. We will send you all the presentation and we will send you the presentation and the recording of the webinar. Okay. And then we have the spill or leak detector. Okay, hold on. I don't know what is this. Okay. This solution, what it does, it detects any kind of spillage always as long as it's on a water scenario. Okay, so all the substances that are more dense or are floating on the water can be detected. Always as long as we have a very good angle, a good angle of good field of view of the area. Okay, but also we can use for this with this solution, we can also detect gas leakages on a pipeline or liquid leakages on a pipeline. Okay, so also is available with fixed or PTC cameras. Okay, and then you can work offline or online. Okay, and as I said before, it's available on a embedded version or server base. Okay. This is some of the success cases that we have so far achieved on the defense and law enforcement. For example, we have installed the VMS on the FBI, and then also the cybersecurity solution also has been installed on the US. Okay, the NATO headquarters in Brussels, we do all the access control. The Rota is a NATO military base on south of Spain, so we do all the security perimeter, all the port and the airport security on it. And then with the Spanish Navy, and then we also with the Spanish Air Force, we do all the military bases that they have here in Spain. Okay, on the oil and gas, we work with, we have done, for example, with the flame monitoring, we have done with Saudi Aramco, with Repsol and Cepsa, which are the two largest oil companies here in Spain. We have done all the security and perimeter surveillance. With Enagas and Endesa, we do all the marine surveillance. Okay, with critical infrastructures, we do all the perimeter surveillance of the Madrid International Airport and Valencia Port, which is the largest port by container traffic in the Mediterranean. Okay, we have also Trillo nuclear plant we do all the perimeter surveillance. Okay. On the telecommunications, we work with AT&T in the US, Etisalat on the Emirates, Telefonica, Portugal Telecom, Facebook, and Hitachi Vantara. Okay, on the finance, we work with Santander, which is the 5th largest bank in the world, with Samba in Saudi CaixaBank, which is is the second largest bank here in Spain. Okay, and then on the public here we have done projects with the city of Stavanger, and okay, this is on Norway and Denmark. Okay. This is our distributors. We have global agreements with Anixter and ADI, but also, for example, in the Middle East, we work with Secutronic, and then also with Ingram Micro, ScanSource in the US, Tech Data in Europe, Incomex in South America. Okay. And these are some of the key installers that we have worked with: Prosegur, G4S, Stanley, AT&T, Thales, Tyco, Johnson Controls, Securitas. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. One very key advantage, as you can see, that we can offer a very large range of very large analytics portfolio on just one company. As I said before, I will say 90% of all the solutions that we offer has been developed by us, especially the ones that are with optical spectrum cameras. Usually this is our third party. So this is our distribution agreements that we have, for example, with Safer, with EVA, and some other companies. But all these solutions that are related to radiometric cameras and thermal cameras has been developed by Grecom. In case that you guys have any questions, you can activate your microphone, or you can use the chat. Is whatever you prefer, but in case that you have any questions, please let me know. Also, let me tell you that the price of the licenses includes setup and fine-tuning. Okay, so this is kind of like a turnkey solution. Whenever you buy from us, we will do the setup for you, we will do the configuration and fine-tuning, and until the solution is not working as expected, we will not stop. Okay, I think Rajit has a question.
Hi, Alvaro. First of all, very informative. Thanks a lot for the presentation. It was a lot of new insights, and I'm really keen to know, since coming from the Middle East, we cater to Middle East as well as India right now. So apart from Etisalat, have you got any installation base over here? That's my first question. Second is, I'm really keen to know what solution you have provided to retail as well as healthcare.
Okay. As for projects in the Middle East, for example, we just have been awarded for the Raja University, which is quite a large project. We have done the Dewa solar plant, Sagaya it's in Kuwait. Okay. Then also we have done in Saudi Arabia. We have done all the stockyards for the army, and then also for Mercedes-Benz. In Qatar, we have done the Emir of Qatar Palace. The security is from us. I don't know, like Al Dafna in Qatar downtown also has been done by us. So we have done quite a few projects in Egypt. We have done for example, the Sharm el-Sheikh, all the perimeter surveillance of the city, this is a smart city project, and we do all the perimeter surveillance for them. So yes, in the Middle East is, I will say, probably the second or the third largest area where we do business on. As for healthcare solutions, we have one solution which is to detect people with high temperature. This solution is available with embedded into the Axis camera, but it's also available on a server base with FLIR and Mobotics cameras. Okay, and also with the Hua. Okay, so this is the solution that we have for healthcare.
And retail?
And sorry?
Retail.
What do you mean retail?
Retail.
Oh, retail, sorry. Retail, what we do is we have with the, we can either do with the VMS, or we can do with the face recognition. With the face recognition, what we do is we can do demographic analysis, we can figure out the dwell time, we can manage queues, and so on. So this, with the face recognition solution, we can do it for the retail. As a matter of fact, we have been implemented here in Spain in quite a few projects.
Okay, fine. In fact, we also partner with SafeForEx for a few projects. We are discussing with Walter. I'm sure you might be knowing Walter Candelou.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ours is more on the services side. We are looking to be a value-added partner in terms of, for example, the solutions that you mentioned, the data that we collect from your end, we can do the customization as per the KPIs mentioned by the client. Be it dashboarding, be it a visual representation, or any kind of customization that requires at the client side, we are well equipped to do that. So that's our forte right now, and our main focus is retail as well as healthcare.
Okay. Yes, I mean, you can do it yourself or we can do it ourselves. I mean, this is especially for the safety and automation solutions. They require a very high degree of tailor-made solutions. Okay, so especially on the dashboard and reporting area. So that is also we can do that also for all our clients. As a matter of fact, this is what we do, especially for the automation and safety solutions. Most of them they require a high degree of customization.
Okay, got a point. And may I know how much? What is your revenue in means top line last year? How much you doing it on a year-on-year basis?
Okay, we are a company which is a software company. We just sell the software licenses. Okay, last year we were close to 4,500 licenses. Okay, so in turnover, we are close to 1 million euros. Okay, the volume is not very high, but remember that we just sell the software. We don't sell the cameras. We don't sell the servers. We don't sell any equipment. We just sell the software. Okay, so I mean, it's from the license volume point of view, is quite large. Okay.
Okay, got it.
And as I said, I mean, one of the key advantages that we can bring, I mean, most of the companies that you find on the market, I mean, some of them they do perimeter, some of them do face recognition, some of them do license plate recognition, some of them do VMS. The good thing about Grecom Technologies is that we can have a complete offer or portfolio of solutions, and under one supplier, we can give you pretty much all the solutions that you need for any kind of project. Okay, so I think that that gives a very big advantage because, as you know, with the analytics, sometimes when the analytics are not performing as expected, sometimes, I mean, you have like 4 or 5 different suppliers, you have to call each one of them. Okay, with us, it's just one supplier, and we can solve everything for you.
And for example, if you get a client over here in Middle East, how do you do the customization part? Do you work through the partner or you do the support remotely?
Okay, what we do is, I mean, in the Middle East, we used to have, before the pandemic, we used to have an office. So we handle those issues directly from the Middle East, from an office in Dubai. Right now, we are in the process of reopening again the office. Okay, and then all the development and the customization is being done here in Spain. And then as for preventive maintenance, support, and so on, we can do it remotely. I mean, in case that there is a critical infrastructure where no access is allowed, then usually what we do is we train our system integrator, our local system integrator, and then we do it through them. Okay. I have a question here from Baskov. It says, can you run 2 or more apps simultaneously on the edge devices? It depends. I mean, if the analytics that we're going to use doesn't interfere on the adjustment of the camera, we can run multiple analytics. But if the solution that we're running interferes on the adjustment of the camera, we just can run one. For example, imagine that we have one solution, which is the temperature threshold, and then the perimeter surveillance. those two solutions cannot work simultaneously because each one of them, what they do is they adjust the image contrast in order to be able to detect as much farther. So if you run two solutions over one camera, both of them will be fighting for the control of the camera and it will not work. So I always recommend to have one analytics per each type of camera or purpose. We use, for example, for the face recognition and the artificial intelligence, the perimeter lookout, we use GPU. And for the rest of the solutions, we use CPU. And also for the VMS, we use GPU. Okay, so it depends on the solution we use. Okay.
Moving forward, what is your strategy for the Middle East market going into next year?
Okay, right now we are in the process of reaching agreements with local partners, okay, which can give us exposure on the area and then also can give us support. Okay, this is right now our strategy. Okay, in case that there is required to be locally, I mean, this is something that we have in our roadmap for 2022. Okay, but right now we are searching for local partners that can support us and can give us support locally.
And what do you look for exactly? What do you look for in a partner?
We're looking for a system integrator which has experience with the video analytics and then also is capable of solving. I mean, of course, I mean, for all those partners that we work, we require some training and we give certification. Okay, so for those people that have the training session are capable of solving, I will say, 80% of all the problems that might show up with the system. Okay, more questions? As I said, I mean, the price of our licenses includes remote setup, configuration, and fine-tuning. Okay, it's included on the price. This is not just I'll sell you the licenses and then you handle yourself. Okay, we will do everything for you. Okay, and then also there is demo licenses available of any of the solutions that we presented today. So in case that you are interested, I mean, you just need to ask for a demo license. We have two type of demos. We can have a demo running over a video. Okay, we have a very extensive library per each one of the solutions that we have. We offer, so we can run a demo license over that video. That is one option. Option number two, we can give you a demo license and run it on a real cases scenario. Okay, always as long as you have the right equipment, you have the camera, and then you have a laptop. I mean, what we can do is we can give you a demo license and run it on a real scenario. Okay, the demos are free of charge. So in case that you're interested, you just feel free to ask for one, and then we will do everything for you. Here you have my contact details on the last presentation. So you have my mobile telephone number where you can reach me, and then you have my email address. Okay, so you can contact me anytime. As I said, I will send to all the people that join and register for the webinar. We will send you the video of the webinar, And then also we will send you the presentation for you to, in case that you want to review it. Okay. Well, if there is no more questions, I appreciate your patience. Today was a little bit long webinar. We went for 1 hour exactly. Okay. So in case that you have any questions or you want to extend the information on any of the solutions that we talked today, please feel free to ask. Can you use a REST API or HTTP post for any integrations? Yes, of course. Okay. And we have available APIs, we have available the SDK. And then usually what we do is we do all the integration with any VMS or any device ourselves. And that is also free of charge, because for us, this is kind of like a platform to open up more business. So usually all the integrations we do it ourselves. So as I said, I mean, as for VMSs, we are integrated with Milestone, Genetec, Goitebrook, Pelco, Avigilon, Chameleon, Latitude, Cathesics, EDIS, Axis Camera Station, the SICO, Softguard. So I will say pretty much all the main VMSs available on the market we are integrated with. In case that you're working with any other VMS that I didn't mention, we can integrate it ourselves also. And also there is one very good thing is we have an RTSP, the server. So that means that we can record all the detections with the overlay, regardless the VMS. Okay, as you know, most of the VMSs sometimes it's a little bit difficult to record the detection with the overlay, with the metadata. Okay, so what we did is we developed our own RTSP server. So whenever we trigger an alarm or whenever we generate an event, we will record on the VMS with the overlay. So I think if there is no more questions, once again, I think I appreciate your patience today. Thank you for attending. And then, as I said, I will forward all the information for your review. Okay. Well, thank you very much once again, and let's keep in touch. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.